Arushi, journalist from Medbound Times, and today we have Dr. Anusha Garg with us. Ma'am, can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Dr. Nushagar. I'm a practicing psychiatrist. Currently, I am a senior resident at EVAS Hospital, and I was last year rewarded as Mental Health Influencer of the Year. And I love advocating mental health, and that is my prime passion.
Amazing. For starters, could you describe your current role and what a typical day looks like for you in neuropsychiatry?
I wake up at around 7:45. I get ready. I quickly go for my job. I had to reach by 9 o'clock. Then 9 to 5, it's like a heavy OPD. It's a very heavy hospital. It caters more than 2,000 to 3,000 patients per day. So it's quite a heavy hospital. I have once in 10 days I had an emergency, and then in the evening I write for my content creation and shoot it, post it, reply to the, you know how the job
Yeah,
is, then you have
right.
to answer people. And in the evening I like to have tea with my family, and then okay, gupshup and sleep.
Okay. And how do you define neuropsychiatry and how do you think it differs or overlaps with neurology and psychiatry in practical terms?
uh, like See, neurology is a hardware of the brain. So it treats with it's like a hardware. It treats the, like, there is a tumor, if there is a trauma, if there is something like related to metastasis, a person having a stroke, movement disorders. So that is like a hardware that they treat. The psychiatry is like a software of the brain. It deals with emotions, motivations, addictions. Sexual psychiatry is there, geriatric psychiatry, behavior disturbances, anger outbursts. So it caters, like, पूरा पूरी जिंदगी cater कर सकता है. Nowadays the things are increasing, the way the stress is increasing, adjustment issues are there, parenting issues are there. We are seeing, the child more, now there is a more awareness among the people. So now we know the terms we have never heard before. Now we know that parents are actually coming to a psychiatrist by, मेरे बच्चे को ADHD है क्या, is the person is suffering from autism. Now we know what it is. The previous generation was not. Now we actually are talking about those things which were never talked about. Now we are actually doing seminars where we are actually educating people how to manage their stress. Either it was earlier it was glorified in some sense that it is okay. Now we are not glorifying that issue. Now we are like, it is okay. The people who are doing good are also suffering, and they are still doing it. So that is, I think, is more important nowadays. And I'm really happy to be in this generation where this generation of Alpha, Gen Zs, where we are actually sitting here and talking about those issues. So I think it's really amazing to be here.
So now that we have so much information available online, do you think, like you said, parents come and they tell that ADHD? Do you think like there's self-diagnosis happening at home?
Uh, yeah, it is. It is because of the emotional issues are there, but there is information bombardment is also there. A lot of information from everywhere is there. But I do feel that even if there is a query, and if they are coming to a psychiatrist for just to know that if there is an issue, I find it really, a good thing. Because rather than just, they're not sitting at their home and tagging a child and putting the child in a box where isko to hai. That they're actually coming to a doctor and a professional, a trained professional, for a guidance. I think I will always, advocate for this. I think it's really better to go to a professional for help and ask for the guidance. If it is not there, the person will guide accordingly. If it is there, they guide accordingly. So I think it is really, really good to go to a professional to ask for as many questions as you have, even if it is because of the bombardment of information, even if it is just to clarify your doubts, or even if that person thinks that it is a good time to just go and consult a doctor because my child is having a behavior issue, or I am having an issue dealing with the childhood of the, it's okay. It's really okay to just go for help, even if they think that it might be a thing.
Right. And what is the major difference between psychology and psychiatry?
See, psychology psychology deals with how, the behavior and knowing in the depth how it is, and psychiatry deals with knowing and administrating it. So psychology is, of course, psychology has counseling psychologists are there, and the clinical psychologists, those who are practicing. So counseling, as the word suggests, they are into the therapy session, they're counseling, they're doing CBTs, DBTs, the therapies. The clinical psychologist can also, diagnose the people, and they do therapy accordingly. And a psychiatrist is a person who has done his or her MBBS and then MD. Like, they are trained professional, they can do therapy, they diagnose the people, and they can treat the people. And they are catering more the diseases which are not, which need, like OCD, schizophrenia, bipolar disorders, behavior disorders, and dementias. So they are actually catering a large number of people. And of course, every set of person has their own role in the treatment of the patient, but of course they are doing differently. So as a psychiatrist, as a person who is doing it, is a person who actually trained in treating, like writing a medicine, diagnosing, and of course doing the therapy.
Right. Okay. In your view, how well integrated is neuropsychiatry in general healthcare systems in India, and what improvements do you think are still needed?
See, I think medicos have far more stigma around the branch I'm practicing than a general public. Doctors themselves have so much stigma that they themselves are kind of कि मेरे को भी मैंने भी 2 महीने ऐसा किया था तो मुझे भी पता है. So they are actually putting themselves in a place where they can also ask for help.
Right.
Okay. So I see कि the person, when I was doing my residency, there are so many residents who were dealing with stress and anxiety on a very daily basis, and they used to come for help. And the people in their department used to tag them. Like, are you tagging a person who is having an autoimmune disorder or having a diabetes or a hypertension? We don't. We are not telling them that इसका तो amlodipine चल रहा है या इसका तो ये वाला drug चल रहा है. We do that. We don't do that. We say, okay, the person might be having dizziness because, or maybe a headache because of a hypertension, and we don't stigmatize it. We don't call it like every single day thing.
Right.
And the person or resident who is taking medicines for depression and having a tough time doing his residency because of social factors, the factors in the department itself, the toxicity, we'll be like, okay, इसका तो रोज का नाटक है और ये तो depression की वजह से हो गया है. I think it's not just in the medical community, it's in the corporate community also. We kind of put that person in a box like, okay, इसको तो इसकी वजह से हो रहा है, इसका तो daily का हो गया है. Do we call it like in a person who is suffering from a different disorder? We never do that. We are kind of a very soft heart for a person who is having a chronic illness. Maybe it could be anything, okay, but suddenly if that chronic illness is depression, bipolar disorder, we put that person, okay, जैसे पता नहीं that person is taking something from you.
Right.
So I think that is there, the stigma. And in the medical fraternity, I feel specifically, stigma is of course resolving.
Right.
It's diluting. Resolving, so I will not say. I think it is diluting with time. People are actually talking about it, but still I think that they themselves have this thing to, to come to a psychiatrist. They, take a lot of efforts for them, maybe because of how it has been in the department and how they have seen around the community. So I think it is a learned behavior from that. But if specifically, I'll say the older community of medical people, maybe, who are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, they have a larger stigma. My generation is still in, they've worked on themselves, and they are still in a zone where they understand the need of a psychiatrist. And in a general, I think with time, with the information bombardment that we are talking about, the information, I'll say it is more of like an information age. Now we are more aware, self-aware, and the people are so ready to talk about everything, so ready to talk about, they are upfront about it. They're talking about their own illness. Even the doctors are talking about it, and the celebrities are talking about their own illness. Earlier, people, we know, the Parveen Babi, she died, she attempted suicide, she died of it, and she was a patient of a schizophrenia, the psychotic disorder. In now, there are so many stories around it, and now we know it is it's a illness, it's a proper psychiatric illness she suffered from. But now, if we come, 40 years down the line, now people who are actually suffering, they talk about it. Like Honey Singh talked about that he is having bipolar disorder, and now he's not doing any substances. He was suffering from addictions back then. So I think the people are more vocal, more accepting, and more welcoming to this.
Right.
The government has they are making these celebrities more vocal. They are, you know, making them their own idols. Like Deepika Padukone was now a spokesperson in Mental Health Week jab bhi tha. So I think they are very welcoming things coming to see. I think I hope to see more change, but this is good.
And but do you think also people use these terms very lightly today? Oh, I'm just depressed. I overall over social media, like you'd see captions with feeling depressed or I have depression, I have OCD. Do they really? Are they diagnosed? We don't know.
Yeah.
People use it very coolly.
See, there is two thing about it. First, depressed. It is it's a English word and adjective.
Right.
Okay, when we call a person is having a depression or a clinical depression, we are calling we are actually diagnosing a person from a depression that needs help, treatment, medicine, therapy. When we tell that I'm feeling depressed, it is more of like I'm आज मौसम में बारिश हो गई. It's not like ठंडी चल रही है. ठीक है? So it's like a one day thing. So it's more of a English adjective that we are using. So I think it should be look like that. So OCD, then when people say that I'm having an OCD, it's more of like I'm an organized person. So it's like they're using it like a synonym. I think just in this era, just because you're talking about it, people have, you know, learned it कि कहाँ से कौन सी चीज they can absorb. But is it taking are they taking it easy? No, I think they're just learning how it is. So I think just to talk about it is more important, and if we are getting, you know, ki people are actually more vocal about it, it's really good. I think I don't see any problem in it until and unless, see, any disorder is a disorder if be it depression or anxiety, when it is hampering your personal life, your social life, or your occupational life. If because of those things, if you are depressed and you cannot work properly, if you cannot maintain your relationship with your partner, your boyfriend, your husband, your family, if you cannot work properly because of the thing, then we call it as a clinical thing. If it is just one day, today I'm not feeling like I can take a okay chutti, okay, it's a one day thing. So one day thing is okay, and people are more taking it like a English term rather than a clinical term. So I think it's okay. I think it's a welcome change. People will understand. People are learning with the time. They'll be more aware about it, of course. But yeah, it is okay finally.
Okay. And we're seeing rising cases of anxiety and depression in young adults these days. What neurological factors are we overlooking when we talk about this?
Okay, you see, the rise is because of so many things. Rise is because of uh, the isolation. It could be one of the reason is isolation. We are जितने ज़्यादा हम connected हैं उतने ज़्यादा हम isolated हो गए हैं. ठीक है? The earlier we used to have a sim pack, 300 messages का sim pack, and we used to you know take care of कि किसको message करना है, कितना message करना है या नहीं करना है. We were into that zone, and there is मुझे ऐसा लगता है जैसे तार निकलते, the phone was wired before. ठीक है? जैसे ही it came into your hand, now it became more handy. Now you are more far from your family, kind of, you know. So people are more connected during letters. So I think it is one reason is isolation. We have isolated ourselves. Second, the approach is more individualistic, me and me, and not thinking about the as a whole, as a family or as a community. So that could be one of the factor. Third, I say ki we are glorifying working hours.
Right.
Like we are like 14 hours, 12 hours, we are actually glorifying the working hours. We are not making, you know, a pact with our own self that we need break and it is okay to take a break. So I think that is one of the reason. Fourth, it is very difficult for us at this even when we are talking about it, taking a decision that I first to understand that I have an issue. Second, taking a decision this issue needs help, and third, going for that help takes a lot of steps.
Right.
And then you have a lot of understanding कि भाई ये क्या बोलेंगे, फैमिली क्या समझेगी, मेरे पार्टनर क्या सोचेगा कि इसको तो ये है. And the fear of stigma as a whole is a lot. Right. So after fighting the stigma, after understanding I need help, you know, इतने सारे levels हो जाते हैं जब तक वो doctors के पास पहुंचते हैं. So I do think that is one of the reason कि वो थोड़ा सा dilute हो रहा है. The issue was there before. Right. It's not like कि पहले suicide नहीं हो रहे थे या पहले problems नहीं थे. It's like today we are actually taking into a consideration that that issue can be, you know, taken care of, or that issue needs help. So मुझे लगता है कि one of the reasons the cases are of course rising, but one of the issues people are actually help seeking is also there. Right. People are actually going for help. It was not earlier at times, you know. Now they are more into कि हाँ इसका ध्यान रखना चाहिए. So that is one of the reason. And fourth, I think कि as a whole कि the coping mechanisms have changed. Earlier the coping were I think the coping mechanism have become more difficult at times because we are not taught in that way ki how to cope and how to manage our stress. Even in CBSE there's so many things you learn, so damn many things, but you're not learning how to manage your stress. You don't learn how to manage your finances. You don't learn the basic art of living ki living is an art, and we are not learning the communicative skills. So मुझे लगता है कि these are the things that we need in the modules of the students now. Earlier it was not there, but I think I really advocate it should be there in the CBSE syllabus, specifically in the growing years. Like now reproductive and sexual health is a topic, so I think it should be inculcated in the very basic sciences ki coping mechanisms and stress management is a thing, and it should be taught earlier. Right. So I think that is the welcome change. I think that could be one of the thing I really advocate for. I think वो चीज होनी चाहिए.
And if you were to pick one area of psychiatry for future research or innovation that is currently under recognized, what would it be?
Geriatric care.
Can you
Geriatric care is care for old the people who are more than 60 or more than 50 and having a issue, like, you know, it could the issue at that age, the person who is suffering from anxiety and depression, it is because of either they are it could be a menopause, it could be they are retired, either they had to change their places from the area they have lived whole their life, because now, you know, the children are into the different place and उनको ऐसा लगता है ना किसी को पेड़ को जड़ से निकाल के कहीं प्लांट कर दिया तो एंजाइटी तो होगी ना, डिप्रेस तो होगा ही ना वो पर्सन. एंड ऑफ कोर्स the elderly people suffering from anxiety and depression is a real thing, and of course dementia is there, Parkinson is there, they have a lot of chronic illnesses, they are battling a lot of comorbidities at the same time. There is of course depression is one of the thing, but they're suffering from hypertension, there's diabetes or one or another CVA, koi stroke ho gaya, so they're actually on 10-15 medicines. And there are a lot of changes in their surroundings. So I think care for that individuals at that age is what I would like to work on, and that's what I am thinking about. That is the area of my specification. Second would be de-addiction, like rehabilitating the people who are suffering from addictions.
Right.
So that is the second thing I would be thinking of working on.
That's really nice. And what advice would you give to medical students or residents who are considering a career in this field?
बहुत कम है हिंदुस्तान में. We need a lot. Please welcome me. I think it is a branch that gives you hope, that makes you a better person, better coping mechanisms. You learn things through your residency. There's a work-life balance and pretty good pay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you maintain your own mental health and work-life balance in a specialty that deals with complex cases?
At present I am looking for work-life balance. I'm working, I'm not having a life, I think so. But I think I should work on that. And okay, so that is one thing. I try to focus on my hobbies. So that gives me a break and I enjoy that. Maybe it will writing, listening to music or reading. So I try to focus on that, and of course the family time, sham ki chai, that makes me happy.
So do you think in general, like if someone is seeing a therapist, so your therapist needs a therapist too, do you think?
Yeah, we are humans.
Yeah. Right. And you're dealing with much more complex
see with time we know that the person is going to improve. From the very first day the person it comes to your clinic, you know that the person improves. You know, that's why we are sitting there, right? So we are more of a hopeful people. We are into we know that the person will improve. But yeah, sometimes the stories are hard hitting and it's very difficult for us to absorb.
Right.
So, you know, when you see, you know, divorce cases, the mother living alone, surviving alone, the people, you know, fighting the system, you know that some stories are really difficult and it's not easy for us at times. So of course a therapist need a therapist too, and it's okay to, you know, I know people, my friends who are psychiatrists and they are seeking help because because it can be difficult on it takes a toll on our mental health. And even, you know, in the different country, in the setups like UK, USA, they have a vacation for a psychiatrist, just a paid vacations. so that they can take care of their own mental health,
Yeah.
because they understand that the complex cases kind of take toll on their own mental health also, which is a welcoming change. I think it is a good thing to understand and be vocal about it. But yeah, as a whole, it's good.
Okay. And lastly, today is International Stress Awareness Day. What would you want to tell our viewers about how to cope with stress? And this year's theme was mainly workplace stress. So, what would your comment be on that?
See, uh, work should be treated like work only. So you don't take your work home.
Hmm.
That is the first thing. It's not like you're home and you are still on your work, I
Right.
think. So that is the first thing. Treat work as work and life as life. So making a boundaries between the two is the most important thing that we don't realize at times. It's not good to take work home and thinking about it all the time and not thinking about your own self and the family around. They need you. That is the
Right.
first thing. Second, it's good to take break. Today is my break day. So it's good to take breaks, and it is okay to not work at times. After you have worked a lot, you deserve a break so that you can process all the things that you have done. Your mind is like a computer. वो hang हो जाएगा, उसको भी shut down की जरूरत है. It's okay to take break, vacation with a family or friends or just a small outing.
Right.
Third, don't forget what you are. So if you as an individual love something which is beyond your work, always keep it near to your own heart. Keep doing it. Don't stop doing it. It could be anything that you enjoy. Just sitting in the nature, if you enjoy, it could be as simple as that. Just walking around a park could be one thing that you can enjoy. Just keep adhering to that one thing. And fourth, very easy, take care of your sleep cycle.
Right.
Dumb scrolling, just thinking it's my me time, the only time of the day, it's not right. Close your devices and sleep.
Okay.
So that is the only thing that you can do for yourself. Very small four things. I think मुश्किल चीजों के जवाब बहुत आसान होते हैं. So I think the easy answers is what we can do in our lives.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.